For the first time ever in the history of blind TBRs, I am choosing not to read a book that the wheel chose for me. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to your new favorite place on the internet. My name is Bella, and you saw the title of the video, okay? You saw the thumbnail. Let's not play around. We know what we came here to do. It's a new month, and I don't know what books I'm going to be reading because I'm going to be letting a wheel choose all of the books that I'm going to be reading for the month of March. Yeah, these are all of my wrapped books. This is my entire physical TBR. We do have a third level down here that you can't see, but these are unwrapped because these are just books that I would, you know, this is like part of a series. This is book 4, but I haven't read book 3. This is Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens, which I would never want to open up in a random blind TBR. These are other books that I need another book to read before these. So like these are just unwrappable books. Let's put it that way. Our focus is on these 2 first levels. No matter how many times I do this, I swear nothing will ever take away that little fear that grows in the pit of my stomach, because like what if I spin and I get a ridiculously long book that I'm just not prepared to read during that month? Like, for example, in January, I got number 9, which turned out to be Don Quixote de la Mancha, written by Miguel de Cervantes. And maybe you're wondering how I'm doing with that book. I mean, it's been 2 months. Did I finish it? Did it finish me? And maybe you're also wondering how I did with the rest of the books that the wheel chose for me last month. So let's talk a little bit about how I did in February. Okay, so welcome to the wrap-up corner. Here is where we find out how did I do with the TBR that the wheel chose for me? Did I read any good books? Did I find a new favorite? Was there a 5-star amongst all of the books that I read? Can I trust the wheel again to choose a good TBR for me? I guess we'll find out. So just as a recap, these are all of the books that the wheel originally chose for me. We picked a total of 8 books last month. I don't know what I was thinking. These are all the original books on my TBR. And give me a second because it's going to take me a while to pick all of these up. These are all of the books that I ended up reading. I can't even hold all of them together. Oh my goodness, this is insane. This is probably the tallest tower of read books that I've had in years. I can't remember the last time that I read over 20 books in 1 month. So let's break it down, because what do you mean I have over 20 books in my February wrap-up and the month only has 28 days? What? Let's start with the books that the wheel actually chose for me to read in February. We have the Epic of Gilgamesh. This was epic. I'm sorry, I had to say it. This was incredible, okay? I loved reading this epic poem that belongs to the ancient literature of Babylon. I think this literally is from the 3rd millennium before Christ, which is insane. Just imagining how long this book had to survive to get into my hands is mind-boggling. But I am so happy that this has survived for so long because I enjoyed reading this so much. I loved following Gilgamesh and Enkidu, not really sure how to pronounce his name, but I loved following them on their adventures and slaying all of these monsters. But I think that my favorite part was seeing how Gilgamesh grieves. It was just so beautiful and poetic. It's weird to say that grief is beautiful, but the way that Gilgamesh goes about it is just so heartbreaking, and it was so tender and beautiful. The friendship between Gilgamesh and Enkidu is just one for the books, for sure, absolutely. I loved him dearly. Together we endured all kinds of hardships. Since he went, my life is nothing. Like, what do you mean? Get you a man that loves you like Gilgamesh loved Enkidu forever. It's just beautiful. It's a fantastic epic poem that portrays friendship and love and grief in such a fantastic and heartbreaking yet beautiful way. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get to you right now. Don't jump to your death. I'm getting to you right now. Sorry, so yeah, that was the Epic of Gilgamesh. 4 out of 5 stars, fantastic. And then I also got to read I Am Not Jessica Chen. This was also a 4-star. It was a really beautiful and insightful story about this one girl who wishes that she was someone else, someone more successful and smarter and beautiful. But then when she actually gets to be that person, she realizes that her cousin Jessica has just the same amount of struggles. They may not look the same, but they still have their own set of struggles that they have to live through and learn to grow from. Jenna, our main character, she comes to realize this, and she has to come to terms with the fact that everyone has their own problems and her life may not be perfect, but it's still her life. She grows to love herself, or actually she tries to love herself in this wonderful portrayal of what it means to be a teenager and coming of age and falling in love for the first time and following your dreams and feeling like you're not good enough. This was just such an incredible book. Highly recommend. 4 out of 5 stars. I also read What Are You Going Through by Sigrid Nunez, and this is probably the one that I maybe had the least fun with, just because I wasn't the biggest fan of the writing. It was still a good book. I just don't know if I would do it again or if I'd even recommend it. It's about this woman, and she's very much so an outsider to her own life. She's more so a listener to everybody else's problems, and she has this one friend who's going through this terminal illness, and she asks her for a favor, and this favor upends our main character's entire life. And I say our main character because I don't even know if she has a name. I can't remember once being told what the name of our main character is, which also speaks a lot to our main character and how much she's just not present in her own life because she's just listening to other people's lives. Overall, I think I'd just give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, and that's still good. It's just not great. I read so much Danmei this month, I do have to say. I read The Husky and His White Cat Shizun. 4.5 out of 5 stars. What can I say? No words. I'm so excited to continue the series. I also read Remnants of Filth Volume 2, and then I proceeded to buy the rest of the series. I literally have all of the other volumes waiting for me to be read because I'm obsessed with Remnants of Filth. I love the characters. I love the plot. Everything is so high stakes and so intense and so dark. And that's just my perfect type of novel, so I cannot wait to devour the rest of the series. I think this was a 4.5 or a 5, I can't remember right now, but fantastic. And I also read volume 2 of The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish. This one is a little bit more on the cutesy side, more on the funny, satirical type of novel, and it's still a really good time. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I will be continuing the series. So I have so many stars to give out, honestly, this month. It was just such an incredible reading year. Reading month. The 2 books, oh god, okay, the 2 books that I didn't get to read, that the wheel did choose for me, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I wish I could come here and be like, guys, I finished Don Quixote. I've been reading it since January and I finally finished it. But no, I barely touched Don Quixote this month. And I think it's because, no sé, it's getting a little bit hard for me to pick this book up because I have lost all motivation to read Don Quixote. I've read 700 pages of Don Quixote, but I still have so much to go. Like, I'm having fun, but like, do I want to read 400 or 500 more pages of this? I just don't know. I'm obviously not going to be DNFing it, but I definitely did not prioritize this in February. Hopefully March is different because like I really want to finish this. I don't want to keep putting it off because I know that I'm going to start forgetting the details and forgetting important parts of the plot, and then I'm not going to be fully understanding the rest of the pages, which would be really upsetting and it would kind of be a disappointment. So in March, I really want to see if I can finally finish Don Quixote de la Mancha, written by Miguel de Cervantes. Wish me luck, guys. I really need it. Like, I really need all the support that I can get for this book. The way that it's not even hard to read, I just don't feel inspired. I don't feel motivated, and that's kind of putting a downer on the whole experience. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get to make a whole lot of progress with Don Quixote this month, but hopefully March is different, fingers crossed. And then with the other classic that I had on my TBR, chosen by the wheel herself, it was Notre Dame de Paris, written by Victor Hugo. I did not finish it, but I did start it. I started it in my 24-hour readathon. If you guys haven't seen that one, I would highly recommend it. I had a lot of fun, and it was actually my first readathon where I slept for 0 hours, which I didn't have to do. Literally, I could have taken it a little bit more chill. I could have been a much calmer person, but I decided to choose violence and I decided to choose unhingedness. And I think you can tell when you watch the readathon. But anyways, during that readathon, I made it to page 199 of Notre Dame de Paris, which is in the middle of book 6. I'm definitely going to be finishing it this month, especially now that I'm doing a buddy read with my friend Moraid. I really need all of the partnership, all of the companionship, all of the Como que you know what I mean? Like, I need all of the support that I can get, especially with this book, because this one, all I'm gonna say is, for now, all I'm gonna say is this is not Les Mis. I'm not loving this as much as I loved Les Mis, and there's yeah. Those were all of the books that the wheel officially chose for me, but then I went ahead and read a couple more, you know, just a couple more. And I think something that heavily influenced the amount of books that I read this month is the fact that I did two 24-hour readathons, one of which I filmed for you guys, and the second one I did with my best friend back when I went to Texas in the earlier weeks of February. So let me divide these up by which ones I read with her and which ones I read by myself. In my first 24-hour readathon, I read these books, and this one is very special to me because I actually buddy read it with her. So whenever I look at this book, even though this is like horror, even though this is thriller mystery, I'm always going to look at this book with fond feelings because we literally read this book side to side. Like, I flipped one page and then she flipped another, and I may have been like 5 pages ahead, but then I was like, what page are you on? What's happening? What do you think is gonna happen? Like, we were theorizing on the spot, and it was just so fun to see all of my theories come to life, and it was so fun to share that experience with her. So, oh, and the book itself is really interesting. I had never seen a book that uses images as a way to tell a story, and it was just very intriguing. It was just so fun to read this. So I ended up giving this a 4-star. Look at it, strange pictures. Then I read volumes 4 and 5 of Thousand Autumns. These were the last 2 volumes that I was missing to finish this series, and I loved it. Okay, like, this was such an incredible series. I loved it. The resolution was fantastic. 10 out of 10 stars. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. No words, no notes. I read volumes 15 and 16 of Chainsaw Man. Again, an incredible series. I think I gave both of these 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's just like this series keeps getting better and better, and I cannot wait to see where this arc is gonna go because it's already so high stakes and so intense and so action-packed and violent and gory, and I am so here for it, so I can't wait for this to keep blowing my mind. I also read another book, which was her copy, so I don't physically own it, but it was Soichi by Junji Ito. I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 4-star. I can't even remember, but I remember that I enjoyed it, which is the most important part. I also read the Iron Widow duology, which is now a trilogy, which I'm low-key upset about, but whatever, I'm not gonna talk about it. I reread Iron Widow because I had read it so many years ago, but I recently got Heavenly Tyrant, which is the sequel, and since I didn't really remember any of the details, I decided to just reread it again so that everything was fresh in my mind, and I'm so glad that I did that because Heavenly Tyrant starts right in the middle of the story, so if you didn't have any of the past information, I would have been so confused. But I'm glad that I did so because I did enjoy my reread. This was a 4.5. This one, still kind of on the fence about, but it's like a 3.54 star. And yeah, I mean, these look gorgeous on camera as well. Like, oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. I also read The Legacy of the Fire Nation. This one was just a cute graphic novel narrated from Iroh's perspective. He's kind of writing these letters to Zuko, and the ending did make me cry. I'm not gonna tell you guys why because I don't want to spoil the experience for you, but if you love Avatar: The Last Airbender, if Zuko is one of your favorite characters, if Iroh is one of your favorite characters, then I would highly recommend this because it's just like nice, and it has like these pop-out, cut-out things. It's nice details, you know, and we also have like pictures. I think it's beautiful. I had a fantastic time reading Legacy of the Fire Nation, and again, highly recommend. Okay, I'm gonna speed run because I literally still need to open up some books, so let's go. I also read volumes 5 and 6 of Alice in Borderland for my 24-hour readathon. Fantastic choice. I also read Goodnight Poom Poom, which was nice. Not really sure if I'm going to be continuing the series just because, like, yeah, I enjoyed the first volume, but it's not like, oh my god, I loved the first volume. You know what I mean? And I have so many other series that I'm even more excited to read, so Goodnight Poom Poom is like on my low priority list, if I'm being honest. I also read A Sign of Affection, volume 12. Yes. Romance is alive. I also read The Awakening of Roku, written by Randy Rebay. An okay conclusion to a wonderful character. Love Roku. Didn't love this book, but it was still a really fun time. And then the last book, the last book that I read in the month of February was The River Has Roots. Y'all, this was my February Patreon buddy read. I cried. I was not expecting this book to make me cry because it's literally less than 130 pages, and yet I cried twice. It's the story about these two sisters who will not be separated, not even by death. The writing is so lyrical and beautiful and heartwarming, and you can literally feel the relationship and the love that these sisters have for each other, and the relationship is just so beautiful, and the portrayal of sisterhood is wonderful. When I was reading this book, it just really reminded me of my own sister, which I think kind of made me even more emotional than I would have if I didn't have a sister, maybe. I did give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars, so definitely one of the best buddy reads that we've had. I mean, me and my Patreons. I just wish it would have been longer because I would have definitely read like 100 more pages of this book, but I don't want to judge this book too harshly, especially just because of its length, because maybe the power of this book comes from how short it is. Maybe it's so beautiful because it can be told in a short amount of pages. I don't know. I just know that I loved this book. I would highly recommend it to literally anybody that will listen. And best believe I will be forcing my sister to read this book just so that she can cry at the same parts that I cried as well. Even though I didn't read all of the books that the wheel chose for me, the ones that I did read were incredible, and I had been looking forward to reading all of them. So once again, I think the wheel did me a favor this month. And now, I guess now we need to start actually opening up the books and see what I'm going to be reading in the month of March, because if it's as good as my February picks were, I cannot wait to get this month started. I think I'm ready to spin for the first time to find out what the first book of March is going to be. So without further ado, let's spin that wheel. Oh, pardon. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's fine. This is okay. I trust the wheel wholeheartedly. I would even spin it blindfolded, actually. Number 4. Also, I can't even be scared of the numbers that pop up because I do not remember what any of these books have in store for me. So number 4, okay, do you see this? Number 4, we have it here. Let's open it up. Okay. Okay, you guys can see it before I do. What is this? Oh! Ooh, okay, this is an incredible pick. Oh my goodness. Okay. The first book that I'm going to be reading in the month of March is On a Woman's Madness, written by Astrid Romer, translated by Lucy Scott, National Book Award finalist. I don't know if I've ever read a novel that's so overwhelmed me with pulsing, coursing life. That just sounds fantastic. Okay. On a Woman's Madness tells the story of Noenka, a courageous black woman trying to live a life of her own choosing. When her abusive husband of just 9 days refuses her request for divorce, Noenka flees her hometown in Suriname on South America's tropical northeastern coast for the capital city of Paramaribo. Unsettled and unsupported, her life in this new place is illuminated by new freedoms, but also forever haunted by her past and society's expectations. Are you kidding? This sounds incredible. This sounds like the perfect book to read in March. Oh my goodness. It's also a blistering meditation on the cruelties we inflict on those who disobey. Wow, wow, wow. This just sounds incredible. And also, this was a gift from Anita. So Anita, if you're watching, thank you for sponsoring today's first book of the month. Time has stepped out of its straight line and become a contracting orbit. Gabrielle and I follow opposing orbits longing to meet at the zenith. Are you kidding? Okay, I'm not gonna read on, but I just wanted to get a taste of the writing. Literally, the first sentence is already so poetic and beautiful, and it speaks of yearning and longing, and I'm so excited. Okay, this is a fantastic way to start this book, or to start this month, or to start this TBR? What am I even saying? To start this video. Yes. Let's keep spinning. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna fly too close to the sun. I can already tell. I'm ready for the second spin. Let's go. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. Are there any numbers that I want? I don't even know. I think I'm just gonna let the wheel take the wheel. Sorry, that was horrible. 21. Okay, wait. Let me show the audience. 21. 21. 21. 21. 21. Here we go. Number 21. These are all very short. I'm very excited about this because I love, not even short, just like medium length books, which I'm a very big fan of. Because look at number 10. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to bring this up in the middle of unwrapping, pero look at number 10. I don't want to open up number 10. I just don't. I know that I may have just jinxed myself by saying that I don't want to open up number 10, but I just had to show it to you guys because this is like a cement block and I don't want to open this, not in March, not when I have so many things planned for March. Anyways, back to unwrapping 21. Las Luces de Septiembre, okay, guess I'm reading in Spanish this month, written by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Okay, so Carlos Ruiz Zafón is also the author of La Sombra del Viento, which is a book that I read last year, and I really enjoyed it. It was this fantastical story about forbidden books and this stranger that's been following our main character, trying to kill him, but also trying to save him. It's a very interesting, complicated story, and I did enjoy Carlos Ruiz Zafón's writing style, so I'm very excited to read Las Luces de Septiembre. I have been looking forward to reading more books in Spanish this year, so this is a great motivator. Do I know what this is about, though? No, I do not. Un misterioso fabricante de juguetes que vive recluido en una gigantesca mansión poblada por seres mecánicos y sombras del pasado. Un enigma en torno a extrañas luces que brillan entre la niebla que rodea el islote del faro. Una criatura de pesadilla que se oculta en lo más profundo del bosque. Estos y otros elementos tejen la trama del misterio que unirá a Irene e Ismael para siempre durante un mágico verano en Bahía Azul. Oh my god, wait, how do I even translate this? A mysterious toy maker that lives in a giant mansion where mechanical beings and shadows of the past live. An enigma around strange lights that shine in between the fog that surrounds this thing, the light tower, the tower light, yo sé que tiene un nombre, pero se me olvidó. A nightmarish creature that hides in the depths of the forest. This and other elements weave the plot of the mystery that will unite Irene and Ismael forever during a magical summer in Bahía Azul.
All right.
I'll try my best to translate that. This is why I'm not a translator, okay? It would take me forever. Anyways, I'm intrigued. I love a good mystery, and I already know that I love the writing. I wouldn't say I love, but I really enjoy the writing of Carlos Ruiz Zafón. So I think that this is going to be an interesting one for sure. I will definitely be keeping you guys posted. Interesting that it's called Las Luces de Septiembre if it's supposed to take place during summer. So shouldn't it be Las Luces de Agosto? Or like junio? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to read the book to actually understand the title, but here we go. The second book of March, and my leg is falling asleep. Are we ready for the third spin of the day? Because of course, I'm not only going to be reading 2 books in the month of March, so let's see what else the wheel has in store for me today. Dios mío, I don't even, oh my goodness. Okay. It's fine, this is okay. Number 3? Number 3? 3. Okay. We have number 3 with us today in the store for, what am I even saying? Okay. Number 3. I'm just gonna open it. It's fine. I'm just gonna open it. Okay, this is Isabella Allende, isn't it? Yes, Más allá del invierno. Okay, so we're getting a bunch of Spanish books for this March TBR. So this is Isabella Allende's Más allá del invierno. Durante una tormenta de nieve en Nueva York, un accidente de carretera reúne a una literata chilena, una joven guatemalteca indocumentada y un profesor estadounidense maduro. Pero la casualidad desemboca en una aventura fuera de lo común cuando los 3 descubren el cadáver de una mujer en uno de los maleteros y desean emprender un viaje para deshacerse de él. Okay, so in this book we have 3 characters. We have a woman from Chile, a woman from Guatemala, and an American professor. Because of a road accident, they meet and they find this dead body inside of a suitcase, and then they team up together to discover what happened, like who killed her, who put her body there. I've never actually read any books by Isabella Allende, even though she is one of the most critically acclaimed Spanish authors out there. And by Spanish, I don't mean from Spain. I mean like Spanish writing author. Okay, she's from Chile, basically. My mom has so many books by her. She loves Isabel Allende. Jane the Virgin loves Isabel Allende. And I think that it's finally my turn to understand why Isabel Allende is as popular and as talented as she is claimed to be. Ooh, the book starts with a quote from Albert Camus. I love me some good Albert Camus. En medio del invierno aprendí por fin que había en mí un verano invencible. In the middle of winter, I learned there's an invincible summer inside of me. That is a beautiful quote. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely going to be dusting off my Spanish reading skills in the month of March because not only do I have these 2 books in my March TBR, I also have Don Quixote, which I am, fingers crossed, going to be finishing this month. So yeah, this is going to be a very bilingual TBR, if I do say so myself. I'm also going to be reading Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. This is my Patreon buddy read for the month, and I am so excited because a couple of my Patreons have already read it and they absolutely adored it. This is coming from people that I trust. Like, whenever they recommend a book to me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to read it immediately because I know that you know my book taste. I know that we kind of vibe with the same type of books, and if you cried reading this, then I'm definitely going to lose it. So I'm so excited to read Hamnet because I've heard nothing but incredible things about it, and I am so happy that I'm going to be able to do an exclusive reading vlog for it because then I can always look back on those memories and always remember how that book made me feel and what I thought about it. And I'm just really happy that I get to share that with my Patreons. So that's my Patreon buddy read for the month. And now I think we can spin again, actually. We should definitely spin again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is good. This is fine. Everything will be okay. There is nothing to worry about, except if it's like 24 or number 10 or 13. I hadn't even seen 13. 13 is huge. Wait. Oh, 28. Okay, 28. 28. We've got 28 in the building. We've got it. Here we go. Number 28. Let's party. Ay, Dios mío. Okay. No. No, yo no quiero. Yo no quiero. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm sorry. I don't want it. Yo no quiero. Mira, no, espera que déjame explicarte que tú no entiendes. Mira, the greatest book by Portugal's greatest novelist, José Saramago. Like, okay, I'm so happy for you, but mira, even Mary, she, in the note where she sent me this, she said, I'm sorry for this. Why is she apologizing? I don't know, but I didn't want to find out so soon because, okay, loca, this is so long. This has over 500 pages. And not only, okay, so I have a classic on my TBR, pero que tú no entiendes. Look at this. Not only do I have the Mayas on my TBR now, this is a classic, okay? This is a Portuguese classic. It's a classic, okay? It's a classic. Period. Exactly how I feel. Portuguese classic. Pero not only that, I still have to read Notre Dame de Paris, okay? I didn't finish this in February. I still need to finish this. I'm not even halfway through Notre Dame de Paris. This is gonna take so much time, okay? But not only that, I'm still reading Don Quixote de la Mancha, okay? I'm only on page 700. I still have so much left to read. I'm just really, like, I really don't want to read this. And I think that if I force myself to read this in March, I'm not going to enjoy it whatsoever. So I think for the first time in the history of blind TBRs, I'm going to veto. I would totally accept this if I didn't have 2 other classics on my TBR that I still need to read and that I'm still in the middle of. I feel like if I start another classic, already, I don't like reading multiple classics at once. And now that I'm reading both Notre Dame and Miguel de Cervantes, and Don Quixote, I feel like I need to pause. I can't do this one. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is breaking any rules, but at the same time, I make my own rules. So I hope that you guys can accept the fact that I just don't think it's a good idea for me to read another classic while I'm still in the middle of 2. So I'm going to be wrapping this one up again because I just don't think it's a good idea, folks. So I think we can totally spin one last time to see what the last book of my March TBR is going to be. I don't even know. Like, now that I've opened up the Mayas, I think I'm good with anything else except number 10. Number 9, Dios mío. Okay, not the jump scare. Number 9 is good though. Number 9 has the special Christmas packaging. This is when I ran out of the brown paper, so I just used leftover Christmas packaging or like Christmas paper to wrap up these books. So let's see what number 9 is. Fantastic. Okay, I think this is a better number to wrap things up with. Oh, this is upside down. Oh, is this The Last Unicorn? Yes! Okay, this is The Last Unicorn, written by Peter S. Beagle. Ursula Le Guin, Peter S. Beagle illuminates with his own particular magic. Experience one of the most enduring classics. Not another classic! Okay, experienced one of the most enduring classics of the 20th century and the book that The Atlantic has called one of the best fantasy novels ever. I love the fact that it's super floppy, definitely bonus points for that. And I do love the cover, okay? This is a gorgeous cover, if I do say so myself. A softer tale at the boundaries of magic and reality, that place where one grapples with what it means to be human. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I love this book. The introduction started, this is how I would start an introduction. And if anyone ever made me write an introduction for a book, that's how I would start it. I love this book. That's the only truly important thing I have to say here. Everything else I write will be secondary to that. If someone gave you this book as a gift, this is in fact a gift. Thank you, Emily. And you're looking for a new read, trying to decide if it might be worth your time, the answer is also yes. So this is what my March TBR looks like. We have a total of 7 books. Es que siempre me pasa a mí, de verdad que sí. O sea, yo trato de ser una persona positiva, una persona que le ve lo bien a todo. Pero después me pasan vainas así, que yo digo como que loca, déjame matarme ya, porque ajá. This is what my March TBR looks like, plus Hamnet. I unfortunately do not own a physical copy of Hamnet, but I'm still very much excited. I already have the ebook. I am so ready to just dive right into it and see what all the fuzz is about. It has a very big audience, especially now that there's a movie adaptation that I'm definitely gonna go see, because I've also heard that the movie is incredible, so of course I need to see it for myself. But in terms of books, this is what my month is going to be looking like. If I do manage to read all of these, I do think that I'm going to try and read the rest of the remnants. But just holding them up is ridiculous. But I do think that I'm going to try my best to read the rest of the Remnants of Filth series. I'm just really excited to read this series and find out what happens to these characters that I've grown so attached to and that I cannot wait to see if they're going to have a happy ending or if it's going to be devastating and if it's going to tear me apart. Like, I have so many questions. The intrigue is at 1000%. I just need to know what happens to my characters and if this is going to continue being a 5-star series, because so far it is. I'm like obsessed with everything about it. Look at this cover, for example. It's stunning. And then look at this one. You know what I mean? But then look at this one. This is probably one of my favorite ones, because it speaks to the violence of this series. And but also look at this. I could go on and on about Remnants of Filth and its beautiful covers, but I will not, because we have actually reached the end of this video. I know, it's very upsetting. I wish we could stay here forever just talking about books and talking about all the things that I'm excited about in this coming month, but I do need to go edit this video now. I want you guys to see all of the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of March. I want you guys to comment on what you are going to be reading in this month and what books are you excited to get to. Which books did you read in February, and did you find any 5 stars? Did you find any new favorites? Did you find any books that you thought, hey, I think Bella would really like this, let me go recommend it to her? I would really appreciate that, because even though I do have an endless physical TBR, I'm always on the look for books that may change my life. So if you have any books that sound that way or are just some silly goofy fun, I would love to hear your recommendations in the comments below. I would also love to hear how you're doing. How did February treat you? What are you looking forward to in March? I know that I'm looking forward to this trip that I'm doing with my family. We're going to visit El Salvador, which is my other home, because if you guys don't know, I'm half Dominican, half Salvadorian, and we're going to go visit my grandma. And I'm really looking forward to that because I haven't been to El Salvador since I was like maybe 12 years old. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'm really excited, and I am of course going to be vlogging it for you guys so that you can see a little bit of El Salvador if you've never been and you've always been interested to see what El Salvador looks like. Thank you guys so much for watching. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content. I host readathons, reading sprints, and a monthly book club. So if that is something that sounds interesting to you, the link is down below. As always, I would love to have you join. Without further ado, I truly appreciate you so much. I hope that March is even kinder to you than February was. And if you're currently having a rough time, just know that you're not alone. And better days are on their way. They're just taking a little bit longer. We've been having some shipping delays. So I love you guys, and I will definitely be seeing you next time. Bye.
Hey Jimmy, you nice. Keep going.